Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I'm Michigan Sports Talk here. In this one, we got a Michigan basketball video. Gonna be talking about another transfer target for Michigan and as well as some recruiting news. So we're gonna be getting into everything in this video. So if you guys are new around here, I'd really appreciate it if you could go ahead, hit that subscribe button. And other than that, let's get right into today's video. Alright, so the first thing I want to touch up on is transfer guard Terrence Shannon from Texas Tech. We've talked a lot about him. He actually visited Michigan, and it was all going well until obviously the credit transfers. That hurdle is definitely a problem right now. So with the latest that I've seen, it is actually getting worse for Michigan to land him just because of the credit transfer hurdle. However, Michigan has not been told no yet, but it is a struggle right now, so we'll keep you guys updated on that whole situation. Hopefully we can get him. It would be huge, and I mean, it seems like he wants to come here. Like I said, it's just the process to get here, and so we'll see on Terrence Shannon. But we got a couple new guys, and I'm actually going to talk about Imani Bates because he obviously transferred from Memphis, and now, nobody really knows a whole lot. However, we do know that Juwan Howard actually met up with him, and so he is a target right now in the transfer portal. If you guys do not remember, Michigan State was the favorite to get him in this recruiting cycle, and he is from Michigan. He's from Ypsilanti, Michigan, so it would definitely be a really kind of a surprise, I guess, a little bit. However, at the same time, I mean, he did just follow Juwan Howard, Jace Howard, and Jet Howard all on, was it Instagram, I believe. So this is really the only news we have on Imani Bates, but it would be really, really cool to get him in. So we'll see what happens with Imani Bates, but definitely be kind of funny too, just because, you know, Michigan State was one of the, or in the mix of its recruitment. Moving on to another guy as well. He's actually from Princeton, grad transfer Jalen Lewellyn. Hopefully I said his name right. But he is from the Ivy League. And he's actually supposed to be taking a visit here to Michigan. So he was actually first team all Ivy League guard. And some say that Michigan might be his new home, so we'll see what happens with him. But he is a guard, and he's 6'2", 175 pounds, and he actually played only 3 seasons at Princeton because the Ivy League did not play basketball in the 2020 through 2021 season. But he did average 15.7 points, 4.1 rebounds, and 2.5 assists per game while shooting 38% from 3. His total is 62 out of 162 attempts from 3. Now, Princeton went 12-2 in the Ivy, but lost in the conference tournament championship to Yale, then lost in the first round of the NIT. And if you guys do not remember, Mike Smith, he actually came from the Ivy League as well, from Columbia, and he was also a grad transfer. So, and yeah, Jalen was actually a top 100 recruit in the 2018 class, and he came from Mississauga, Ontario. Actually, that's the same town as Michigan freshman Caleb Houston, who actually just entered the NBA draft. Him and Moussa Diabate made a whole video on that. They both can come back though, so we'll see what happens. We obviously have right now Frankie Collins, and then also Kobe Buffkin. Now, somebody told me that Kobe Buffkin was actually might transfer or go in the transfer portal. I'm not sure really how true that is. I don't think there's any really talk about that, but so don't really worry about that. But yeah, right now Frankie Collins is definitely going to be the starting point guard going into next season. However, if we do get this Princeton guard, he also could be in the mix there, so we'll see. I would like to see though Frankie Collins potentially start next season either way, just, you know, just to see how a guard that has been developed by Juwan Howard looks like. I think Michigan, if they went back to developing their own guards, would be a lot better, but we'll see what happens, you know. So but yeah, that's pretty much that with all of the transfers. So next thing we're going to talk about is recruiting, talking about 5-star point guard Isaiah Collier. Now, we did a recent interview with Joe Tipton of the on3.com, and it does sound like Michigan might get a visit out of him soon. Collier is put out a top 7 for his recruitment, but Michigan is gaining ground with the 5-star point guard. Alabama, Georgia, Cincinnati, Auburn, Florida State, USC, and UCLA are the other contenders. So we'll see though, and if he does visit, we could potentially gain some ground. But right now, I'm pretty sure Cincinnati and Alabama are the favorites to get him as of right now. So we'll see. But Collier ranks 18th overall according to on3.com consensus rankings for the 2023 class. So yeah, the next thing I want to talk about is Isaiah Barnes. Now, obviously, he was another one of the talented recruits coming in from last year's class. He was a freshman. He obviously did not play in any games, so he played a total of 6 minutes over 2 games for Michigan, and it was decided the best course of action was to redshirt, with obviously the hope to preserve an extra season of eligibility for him. Now, the NCAA will have to approve that though. Now, Michigan is hopeful that the red shirt will be granted. The process is underway, but there's no really timetable on the ruling. So, but regardless of the outcome, Isaiah Barnes, another player to look out for next season. We didn't really see that much of him this season, but he's another very talented player that could potentially play a big role next season. So we'll see. But that's the latest news on Isaiah Barnes, red shirt ruling, and all of that. And the last thing I want to talk about is actually Hunter Dickinson. We all talked about him. Obviously, Moussa Diabate, Caleb Houston, Hunter Dickinson. After the regular season, in the offseason, we all knew the questions if all 3 of them would go to the NBA or if only a couple of them. Hunter Dickinson obviously decided to come back to Michigan, while Moussa Diabate and Caleb Houston entered the NBA draft while remaining their eligibility to come back though. And Hunter Dickinson, he actually said in a podcast or a radio show or something like that, he said that at the beginning of the season, he obviously would have said, yeah, I'm definitely not coming back. He said he was definitely going to go and enter into the NBA draft. However, he said that with the NIL in college basketball now, that opened a whole nother option, and he ultimately just decided to stay and make some more money with the NIL and just enjoy the college basketball lifestyle again. So obviously talked about that. When everybody was talking about Dickinson leaving or coming back, I mentioned the NIL. I also mentioned, being coached by Juwan Howard and just the college basketball game and all of that. So I'm glad he came back, and I'm glad that the NIL helped him decide. So, I think, that helped a couple people as well. Kentucky's Oscar Sheboy, however you say his last name. And then also that Peyton from North Carolina. So it's definitely helping players and helping them, decide to come back and develop more while also making some money on the side. So with that being said though, it's pretty much going to wrap up today's video. I know I haven't done a football video in a while. There just has not been a lot of news as there is in basketball. There's been a lot of news going on with Michigan basketball, so that's why I've been doing a lot of basketball videos. But we will probably have a football video over the weekend, hopefully, or in a couple days here, so we'll see. But other than that, hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, please drop a like, subscribe for more. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. We will see you guys in the next video. Peace.